What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the last episode of explaining the AI tiers. Continuing on from the last episode. Now, let's visualize this. So two people have applied for the same job. I'm harping on about AI transformation leader, so let's start with that. So let's say two people apply for an AI transformation leader role. Now, the first person has, 25 years leading teams. They ran a cloud migration. They ran a company-wide restructuring. She's moved thousands of people through change they didn't ask for, right? They use AI every day in her own work, right? And then, the story is this person gets rejected, and the reason on file is that, okay, they don't have enough hands-on AI experience. And then there's this other person that applies. They're really deep within the AI world. They're genuinely good, but they've never led a team. They're like 3 years as an engineer. They have a lot of machine learning experience. They've never owned a budget, but they've never carried an organization through anything. So then you ask yourself, so why did the person with all the leadership get cut and the person with none get the interview? The answer is kind of in the framework that I gave you the last time. Let's look at the pyramid again. Remember this pyramid. So there's 4 tiers, and where does our 20-year leader fit here? And this is where I think my 4-tier thing kind of falls short, is because it doesn't show, let's say, the experience. We did say that she uses AI tools to do her job, and we said that's the tier 4, like kind of at the bottom. A person who's led so much change than most people will in a career, and the framework stamps her as an entry level, the framework is failing because the pyramid only ever measured one thing. So I'm actually saying that my pyramid is itself is not like the perfect thing, but it is showing that person is at the bottom of the experience tier in terms of what today people think of as, oh, we need to have AI. And I think, and this is what I was mentioning in the previous videos, that there is a disconnect, that there's got to be a better way to understand that you don't have so many, AI capable people. All right, so we say AI didn't exist when she started. Well, neither did cloud migration. Neither did the cloud, and therefore positions like migrating to the cloud. Neither did the mobile shift. Neither did SaaS, or sales as a service, shift. So the entire digital transition that she led teams through, they didn't exist, but they still managed it. So every technology she's ever led was new at some point. So if the tech didn't exist when they disqualified the leaders, then no leader would ever qualify for anything. And by leader, I'm only talking about senior persons taking on AI transformation roles. So the problem was never that she missed the AI years. I think the problem is that maybe we're measuring her on just one axis when the job actually lives in 2. Does that make sense? Yeah.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I made a little quick illustration as well with the help of AI. So here's the pyramid again, and on every tier on it answers exactly that one question that we asked in the last video. How technically deep are you in AI? And that, let's say, that's your vertical, that's the y-axis. And then the leadership, or the judgment, and the ability to move, let's say, an organization to follow the strategy, leadership and business judgment. That's running left to right. So the 2 axes, you get 4 corners. On the bottom left, low depth, low leadership, early career, still building both. And then the top left is that they have deep technical but low leadership. I guess you can call those the specialist. This person is really valuable, but not a leader. And then bottom right, so high leadership, new to AI, and this is our 20-year veteran. And then the top right, that's the high leadership, a tier 3 fluency, not a tier 1, enough technical fluency to know what's real. I think that's where AI transformation leader actually would sit, in this section here. Okay, so now when we look at the 2 candidates again and the distance, each has to travel, let's say, to the top right corner. The engineer, over time, is going to move to the right across the leadership axis, but that's a few more years. You're not going to learn to carry an organization through change in a training course. Obviously, they need the experience. Let's just say they need 5 to 10 years before you can really close this gap. And then the veteran, they have to move up from a tier 4 to a tier 3 fluency. They need to learn what these tools can do, what they can't do. They had to get hands-on with a few workflows. They understand what's buildable. And the difference here, again, ironically, is that with AI, that's not going to take you 10 years. That can actually be done potentially in a few months, 3 months, 4 months, 10 months, what, a year. Let's say a maximum of a year. But of course, they've got to be using the stuff every day. So one of these gaps is closable in a few months, let's say, but the other one isn't closable for a few years. And the market, I think, is systematically rejecting the person with the small gap because the keyword filter can only see the vertical axis. They just want, the technical part. And there really aren't that many yet. They're getting there, but it's not there yet. It'll get there. We're going to try and conclude all this. The fix isn't complicated. So start plotting people on both axes, Don't look at just the keyword. And this is what I'm using. This is what I look at actively, and we thought we'd just make a video about it. Let's call this the AI capability map. Where you place a person or a whole team on both dials, technical fluency, leadership, and then I don't know, you hire and you develop based on the gap that you see that matters to you, to your business and what you require. For the veteran, the map says something. She's one reachable rung of fluency away from being the strongest AI leader. And for the engineer, it says you're a brilliant specialist. Don't mistake them for a leader yet. Same two people, completely different decisions, conclusions, and that's the difference between screening on one axis and seeing both. So if you're a leader who's been made to feel like you're entry level because you don't write Python, you're actually not behind. Don't worry. You're on the axis that takes the longest to build, and the shortest one is the one you're missing. So close it. And if you hire, the next time you're about to reject someone for not enough hands-on AI, well, maybe you could check the axis that you're screening on. So you might be cutting the best person from the pile because you're not paying attention to the actual job requirements and what you really need. So share this with a person who needs it. If, maybe there's a leader or a friend of yours who's doubting themselves, or a hiring manager who's, in your opinion, about to make a mistake, share the AI capability map with them. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, connect. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Excellent.